What's happening, my YouTube dudes? And welcome back to the channel. It is Monday. You know what that means? It's National Chest Day. So let's get it started. Before we jump into the workout, we didn't show it, but you want to make sure that you warm up, guys. This is something you can really snap your shoulders up. So really warm up your shoulders before you start doing any type of pressing movements. So for this first one, we are actually going to start with a press, and we like to warm up. And in this one in particular, we like to
go a little bit lighter.
The first one, we like to go a little bit light and really warm up the muscles in our triceps and in our shoulders, because if not, you can really injure yourself. As you can see, I'm still looking fresh to death, thank goodness. But for this one, guys, we are starting off. I actually usually warm up with 85 pounds. Planet Fitness only has 75 pounds, guys. So you have to work with what you got. If you only got rusty weights, use that shit. If you only got light weights, you got to use it, guys. So with this one, we are going to do a little more. I usually do 10 to 12, but for this one in particular, because we don't have a whole lot of weight, we want to go with a lot of reps. So I tend to do 10 to 20 reps on each set, and we're doing 4 sets for this exercise.
All right, so I'm going a bit light, and you want to make sure that when you're coming down, your arms are making a 90-degree angle. You don't want to go too far back.
Basically, guys, it's useless if you go below 90 degrees. You're not going to get any more benefit from bringing your elbows down below 90 degrees with this one. You're just going to get hurt. The benefits are never going to outweigh the risk. So you want to make sure that you keep it at 90 degrees and press it. When you're just getting started on doing dumbbell presses, guys, it could be a little intimidating. You want to make sure that you go light. This was what Jay was fixing to tell you guys. I kind of stole it.
Feel confident with your weight.
I see a lot of dudes in the gym trying to push heavy dumbbells.
Yeah.
And they're shaky as hell, guys. It's more shaky than freaking Jade holding the camera still after freaking arm day.
Work your way up, guys. That's it. Just work your way up. If you have to do 10 pounds at first, that's completely fine, as long as you're confident when you're doing that heavy weight. The worst thing that you can do at the gym is feel like you're about to freaking burst because you're going too heavy.
So me personally, this is typically how I put the weight up. I know a lot of people just jump up and put the weight up. I like to place it on my knees and roll back with it. This is the easiest way, especially if you're going heavy, which I'm not, because the Planet Fitness doesn't have that type of weight. But especially if you're going heavy, this is the easiest way to get the weight up.
And safest, I feel like.
To me, this is the safest and the easiest, because you are not going down first and pushing off with that first pressing movement. That can really hurt your elbows. So instead of starting from the bottom up, you're starting from the top and then working your way down. And for this one in particular, guys, I did 1 set of 20 for my last one, because there wasn't, like I said, there's not enough weight, so you have to work with what you got.
So I don't know if Orlando mentioned, but we are on a flat bench. We're not on the ones that extend up and you can lay back down. This is a complete flat bench, and it feels so comfortable and so natural on here.
Sometimes we see people using the incline bench for this exercise, but it can tend to be a little unstable. So you want to make sure that you find the bench that's completely flat.
Yeah, when you're doing this exercise, you just want to be safe and as cautious as possible.
Next, we're going to jump into the second exercise, which is incline dumbbell presses. And guys, if this one, you have to be careful when you're pushing up the weight. If you find that you have shoulder issues, you want to make sure that you have a spotter. You don't have to go really heavy at first. You want to make sure that you are comfortable with the weight, because if you're not, like we said before, it's going to be shaky, and more than likely it's going to drop on your face. And guys, believe me, it's happened before. Not to me, but I've seen a whole lot of people that the weight has actually fallen straight either on their chest or their face. So you want to make sure you start off with a weight that is comfortable for you and press nice and slow, straight up.
Keep that 90-degree angle.
Keep the 90 degree. There's no point in going below 90 degrees on this one.
And you want to make sure that not only are you comfortable, but that you are feeling the weight. So you have to find that happy medium type of thing where you're confident, but yet you can still feel the burn. So you can see Orlando's dad did spot him to come up.
Yeah, my dad spots me, guys, not because it's heavy weight. I could throw this weight up and probably catch it like I'm freaking doing some type of...
Oh yeah? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I can, but the thing is, my left shoulder's messed up, and in some of these videos you can see I tend to go a little deeper with my right hand, and I don't notice when I'm doing it, but now I can. Obviously I'm watching the video, but it's because I have a shoulder issue, guys. I snapped it up, so believe me, you don't want to do that. If you make sure that you get a spotter, guys. You could probably push a whole lot of weight. You don't have to start off with a whole lot of weight for this exercise to be effective.
Yeah. So I'm keeping my same weight that I used for the flat bench, which is just 20. Actually, is that a 15? Yeah, I did 15 and I think I might have went up to 20. But anyway, yeah, I'm keeping that 90 degree and I am bringing my arms all the way up. The same motion as before, we're just on an incline. So I did go lighter in weight because you really do feel this one a lot more since it is on an incline. You really do have to really focus a lot on this one. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're actually in like the ab room, and that's because this day it was extremely packed.
Every single Monday, people like, oh my god, the weekend, oh I ate too much, oh blah blah blah, I gotta go to the gym. And then freaking Tuesday through Saturday is freaking empty as hell. But listen, guys, so you want to make sure that if you are in an area or in a gym that's way too packed, get the hell out of there, guys. Get the bench and move to a different location where you can focus. You don't want dudes freaking with their nuts hanging out beside you, sweating on you and all kinds of craziness. Get up out of that area and go to an area where you can concentrate on what you're doing, because you don't want to drop this weight on your face. Next, we're going to jump into dips. I know that you guys, if you watch our other videos, we do like to do dips on arm day as well. This one is a little bit different, guys. So for when you're using it for chest day, you want to make sure that your arms are a little wider. So this one in particular doesn't have a width adjustment, so you have to go back with it. You have to go more towards the end of the handles, but some gyms have a adjustment to where you can actually put it outwards and make it wider.
So I just started actually being really good with these, and I say really good because I can only do 5. So don't feel that you need to do a lot for it to be effective.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. And try and go down as much as possible, but don't snap your arm back.
This exercise is not a race, guys. This is a isolation movement for the bottom of your pecs. So you want to make sure that you go nice and slow. There's no reason for you, although it looks like we're on the jungle gym, we're not on the jungle gym, guys. You want to make sure you go nice and slow and really press it when you get to the top and squeeze your pecs together. You may not look like I'm squeezing my pecs together, but in my mind, I'm squeezing my pecs together. It's a mind-muscle connection thing, and this is what you need to learn if you want to make sure the optimum gains in the gym. You want to make sure when you're doing this exercise that you lean slightly forward to engage the bottom of your pecs. We're not doing pressing movements for triceps. We are working on your bottom of your pecs. So you want to make sure lean slightly forward and go down 90 degrees. Alright, next we're going to jump into seated pec flies. For this one in particular, you can really hurt your shoulders if you are not doing this right, guys. So before you even get started, you want to make sure that you adjust the machine specifically for you. It's got different adjustments, one for the height and one for how far back your arms are going to go. For this one in particular, I like to use setting number 3, which gives me a nice range of motion but doesn't pull back your shoulder so much that it feels like it's going to pop out the socket. I see some people, this machine in particular, you can use it for back, in the back of your shoulders, and you can also use it for chest. I see a lot of people that they use the adjustments that are supposed to be for your shoulders and they use it for their chest, and it looks like their freaking shoulders are gonna pop out their sockets. So you want to make sure that you have a nice range of motion, just like Jade is doing right now. You are not risking a shoulder injury.
Yeah, and to minimize that, just make sure you're not going extremely far back. You're kind of just stretching a little bit farther than where your back is, and then making sure that you really squeeze when you come back in. And you will feel this in your chest the next day, for sure.
Alright guys, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. These are the pins that you have to adjust to make sure that you don't pop your freaking shoulder out of its socket. Like I said before, I've seen a whole lot of people that do this incorrectly, and this is one of the machines where you can really regret using it if you mess up your shoulders. This works extremely well for your inner pec, and if you just make sure that you are squeezing really tightly, guys. And if this machine is new to you, you want to make sure you go light and experiment with the weight first before you go real heavy with it. You don't want to get hurt right out the bat. Alright guys, last but not least, we have cable flies. For this one, I like to go in the PF 360 room, because this one in particular is really good because the cables are close to each other. For this machine, you can either have the cables up high. If you have the cables high and you're pushing downwards, you're doing the bottom of your pecs, the lower pecs. You don't want saggy titties, so you want to make sure that you do this at the end of your workout. And if you're using it from the bottom up, you're working your upper pecs.
You can adjust it oppositely, so have the cables coming from the bottom. But we didn't do that in this video. We can show you guys next time. But yeah, so we have it adjusted on the highest setting. And just make sure you're actually going all the way back with this one and then squeezing inwards. I see a lot of people doing this and not squeezing, so they kind of just come down and they're just like,
And you don't need a whole lot of weight with this one, guys.
Yeah.
You can get the work done with lighter weights.
And you can see Orlando, when he comes down, he's taking the cables one by one. And like he said,
this is for my dudes that have shoulder injuries.
Yeah.
You don't want to start off and just start pressing all of a sudden. You're going to snap something up. So this is what works for me. This is what I feel comfortable with. I put one hand down at a time. And this it helps relieve some of the stress. If you don't, you want to make sure that you have a slight bend in your elbow. There's no sense in hyperextending and having your arms straight out for this exercise.
It really helps with focusing on your chest when you have those elbows bent. As you can see, Orlando has a lot of striations and they're really pumping with this last exercise. So I really recommend on doing this exercise last, because it will tire you out for sure.
And this is an isolation movement, and you want to make sure you do the isolation movements last. You want to make sure that you get the compound exercises out of the way first and then work on isolation. And Jade's getting a little creative with this one, guys. This is at the end of the workout. You want to just make sure you pump as much blood into the pecs as possible to get as much of a pump out of this workout.
It really stretches you out when you do these individually, and I'm still keeping that bent elbow movement, and yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you guys for watching this awesome chest workout. Like we said before, please share this with everybody. Comment, subscribe, let us know what you think, and most of all, stay watching, my friends.
Bye.